There are award shows, and then there are award shows that change the conversation for months. The 2026 Grammys was supposed to be remembered for music. Instead, it's now remembered for controversy, backlash, and a chain reaction that no one inside the industry seems able to stop. At the center of this storm is Billie Eilish, an artist who has spent years building an image as a voice for her generation and who now finds herself facing one of the biggest public backlashes of her career. But to understand why this situation exploded, we need to go back to the moment it all started. Broadcast live on CBS, the ceremony was already under pressure due to declining ratings and growing criticism that award shows feel out of touch with audiences. Then came the speeches. Several performers used their stage time to make statements, including Bad Bunny, whose comments sparked debate online. But nothing compared to the reaction that followed Billie's remarks referencing stolen land. In the room, it seemed like just another political statement. Outside that room, it became a viral flashpoint. Clips circulated within minutes. Commentary videos appeared within hours. And by the next morning, the narrative had completely shifted. This wasn't about music anymore. What made this situation different from past celebrity controversies was how many different groups reacted and how quickly. Supporters praised her for speaking boldly. Critics accused her of hypocrisy. Neutral observers questioned why award shows keep drifting into political territory. Then came a response that changed the tone of the conversation entirely. Members of the Tongva tribe, whose ancestral land includes Los Angeles, publicly pushed back. Their argument was simple but powerful. Statements about land and history carry weight, especially when made by people living on that same land. Suddenly, the story became more complex than a celebrity quote. It turned into a discussion about authenticity, privilege, and performative activism. As criticism intensified, Billie's brother and collaborator Phineas stepped in to defend her. From a family perspective, that made sense. From a public relations perspective, it poured fuel on the fire. Because when celebrities respond emotionally during a controversy, every word becomes another headline. Instead of fading, the story expanded. New debates emerged. Old clips resurfaced. Commentators dissected every statement. It became clear this wasn't going away quickly. Inside the entertainment industry, situations like this trigger crisis meetings. Managers, agents, PR strategists, brand partners, all trying to decide the least damaging path forward. According to reports, Billie's team faced exactly that dilemma. Some pushed for a carefully worded clarification. Others advised staying silent until the news cycle moved on. A few reportedly suggested a bold move: step away from the spotlight entirely. Because in today's media environment, visibility can amplify controversy, but disappearing can also send a message, and that's where the next twist comes in. Rumors began circulating that Billie was considering spending time outside the United States. Officially, it would be described as a creative retreat, working on a project connected to a film directed by James Cameron. Unofficially, critics saw it as an escape from backlash. The speculation grew even stronger when insiders suggested the announcement might happen on Jimmy Kimmel Live, hosted by Jimmy Kimmel. That would transform a private decision into a public spectacle watched by millions. And once something becomes a spectacle, it takes on a life of its own. Interestingly, this isn't the first time rumors of celebrities leaving the country have dominated headlines. Names like Tom Hanks, George Clooney, and Rosie O'Donnell have all been linked to similar speculation during politically tense periods. Whether temporary or permanent, these stories resonate because they feed into a broader narrative. That Hollywood exists in a different reality from everyday audiences, and that perception gap has been widening for years. What we're seeing now isn't just one controversy, it's part of a larger shift. Award shows once united audiences around shared cultural moments. Now they often divide them. Late-night figures like Stephen Colbert amplify these debates, keeping them alive long after the original event. Political figures such as Donald Trump remain central to these discussions, meaning entertainment stories don't stay in the entertainment lane for long. They evolve, they escalate, and eventually they become something much bigger than the original moment. Because once politics enters the conversation, people stop debating what was said and start debating what it represents. Fans split into sides. Media coverage intensifies. Every future appearance gets analyzed through a political lens. At that point, resolution becomes incredibly difficult because you're no longer dealing with a single controversy. You're dealing with identity, ideology, and public perception all at once. And for celebrities, that's a dangerous place to be. For Billie Eilish, This situation could mark a defining chapter in her career. Not necessarily the end of her influence, but possibly the end of one version of her public image and the beginning of another. History shows that controversies can reshape artists in unpredictable ways. Some use the moment to reinvent themselves, returning stronger and more focused. Others find that the connection they once had with audiences becomes strained, replaced by skepticism or fatigue. What separates those outcomes usually comes down to a single decision: how they respond next. Do they address the backlash directly? Do they ignore it and move forward as if nothing happened? Do they double down and stand firm? Or do they quietly pivot into a new creative direction? Silence can look mysterious or dismissive. Apology can look sincere or forced. Defiance can look brave or reckless. Reinvention can look inspiring or calculated. Every path carries consequences. There's another element most people overlook: timing. Respond too quickly, and it may seem reactionary. Wait too long, and the silence creates its own narrative. In the age of 24-hour news cycles and endless social media commentary, timing can determine whether a response calms the situation or reignites it. For someone at Billie's level of fame, even a single interview or public appearance can shift public perception overnight. That's why teams of advisors often debate not just what to say, but when to say it. This situation isn't just celebrity gossip or internet drama. It's a real-time example of how modern fame works. We live in an era where every microphone is live, every camera is recording, and every statement can travel across the world before the speaker even leaves the stage. There's no buffer anymore. No time for context, no guarantee that intentions will match interpretations. One sentence can ignite a global debate. One clip can overshadow years of work. One night, like the 2026 Grammys, can redefine how an artist is viewed for the rest of their career. And what makes it even more intense is that audiences now participate in shaping the narrative. Public opinion isn't just reacting, it's steering the story. This moment sends a message to every public figure watching. Fame today isn't just about talent. It's about navigating attention, because attention can elevate, but it can also overwhelm. And the same platforms that build a career can just as quickly challenge it. For younger artists especially, this becomes a cautionary tale about the cost of global visibility. So now the question isn't just about Billie, it's about the role celebrities play in society. Should artists use their platforms to speak on controversial issues, or focus purely on their craft and let their work speak for itself? And when backlash happens, because in today's world it almost always does, is stepping away the smartest strategy? Or does facing criticism head-on earn more respect? I want to know what you think, not the loudest voices online, your honest perspective. Drop it in the comments, because this story is still unfolding, and the next move could change everything, not just for Billie Eilish, but for how celebrities approach controversy in the future. And if there's one thing we've learned from moments like this, it's that in modern fame, the spotlight never really turns off.